Everyone, Shabby Gamer here, and we are back with some more of the Gibraltar Challenge here on Football Manager 2016. Now, in the last episode, we absolutely hammered Genesi Echt, I think, a team from Luxembourg. We beat them 14-0 on aggregate to qualify for the second qualifying stage of the Champions League, and we have got Partizani here from Albania. So hopefully, again, this should be another easy one for us. Odds-wise, we're big favourites once again, so that's pretty good. I think if we win this, we go through to the third qualifying stage, which means I think we're guaranteed a place in the Europa League. I might be wrong. I'm hoping that's not wrong, though. So yeah, this should be quite an easy one, this. I don't think we made any other transfers as last time. There's a few things going on, but I'll discuss that during the game. And without further ado, let's get straight into that first leg. And here we are. As you can see, like I said, we are big favourites for this one, 1-6, whereas they are 10-1. Christian Baez is going to be our key man, the attacking midfielder. And I think we're pretty much going to win this, hopefully. As long as we don't get embarrassed here. So we have changed the formation slightly just to try and use the players that are fit and try and use the players that are, again, unhappy for not playing enough, and again trying to use the players to get their match fitness up as well. So a real triple threat here. They're playing very, very defensive, which is probably going to help us out a bit because then we can attack them. So in goal, we're starting with Bruno Ramito, our normal goalkeeper, slowly getting better and better as well. I'll be a bit happier when his value goes up a bit. At left back, we are playing Renato Evola, the Italian. He's a very good player. I want to try and keep a hold of this guy for long enough for him to gain Gibraltarian nationality. I think he can still do that, even though, I don't know, he's played under 21s. Does that mean he can still play for Gibraltar? It's going to take him he's going to be like 29 by the time he qualifies, but there you go. Nick Halton, a player who wants to leave because apparently he's had too many broken promises, but still, we want to keep a hold of him. We don't need to keep him for too much longer now. We need to keep him for another year. Oh, we didn't need to keep him for much longer then. So we need to keep hold of him for all of this season. As soon as the season's finished, then he should gain nationality with Gibraltar and be able to play for the national side. Alongside him, we have Roger Newby. Now, this could be Newby's last game. Unfortunately, he got unhappy and he wanted to leave, which is a bit unfortunate. But he is under subject of two bids, one from Coventry, one from Wolves. They both offered me £1 million. So it's more than 3 times his value, isn't it? Well, it's 3 times his value, more or less. So I'm happy enough. I've got a few centre-backs on the radar, and hopefully we can replace him quite quickly. Right back, we've got Stefan Dammer, one of the players that could potentially replace him at the centre-back. He's a very, very good player, and that allows us to play some of the other right-backs a bit more as well. Defensive midfield, we're sticking with Chris Morgan, the Australian. 5 caps now for the national side, and he really is a beast of a player. In midfield, we have Eric Bernal, the American. He's a little bit annoyed because he's not playing a lot of first-team football, but hopefully we can get him on side pretty soon. Alongside him we have, I think the debuting Luis Cabrera, not played for us as of yet. A big, big signing for us, earning £21,000 a week. Absolutely humongous, and he's worth a lot of money as well. But he is locked in now for 3 seasons, so I'm pretty happy with that. If somebody wants to buy him, they're going to have to pay decent money for him, so that's pretty good. In the attacking midfield spot we have Christian Baez. Yeah, very good player. We brought him last year. He was very good. Why is that changed? I want to go to career stat. There we go. Yeah, a good player for us. He played 13 games, 17 goals last season, so hopefully he can build upon that now. And then up front we have Eric Franks, 24 goals in 37 games for us, the American striker. Great player. And alongside him, one of our other new signings, Joe Stevens, making his... I know he has started a game already, and he scored a couple of goals, so I'm pretty happy with that. So yeah, let's get straight into the game. So yeah, I think I've told you everything I need to tell you that's happened since the last game. Of course, the big news was the Roger Newby deal. I say deal, it's not exactly finished as of yet, but it's going to gain us an extra £1 million into the bank balance, and for a player we got on a free transfer, that's not too bad really. And we do have other centre-backs we can bring in, more than capable of doing domestically what we need them to do. It's just the Champions League that might be a little bit of an issue, but like we said, we do have Stefan Dammer, we've got a couple of players I've got on the radar. Luis Cabrera can play as a centre-back as well. I think he's more suited to be a centre-back, really. So, I think if he does leave, it's not going to be a major problem for us. So, what can we do in this game? We want to try and make sure that we get a couple of goals in this first leg, just to make sure that we're in a safe position going to their place. We don't want to take the risk and end up conceding a couple of goals and having to go to their place and pull it back, although they are on the attack early on. There's some very strange noises coming out of my computer. I hope you can't hear those. I don't know what that is. It's really weird. I don't know what that noise is. It's really strange. Did this come from my speakers, maybe? Yeah, I hope you can't hear that. It's a really strange noise. Anyway, I'll try and ignore it for now. Ball played in. Can we get it back? Come on. They shouldn't be attacking us like this. And if you're wondering where that stand has gone in the background, we are currently in the process of expanding the stadium. Adding an extra, I think, 1,400 seats, which is fantastic. We did want to try and build our own stadium, but the council did not allow us to do that. So we are trying to improve the national stadium. Stevens with a shot, and it is saved. Wasn't the best of shots, let's be honest. That noise is so strange. Baez with the corner. It's come out to Cabrera. Plays it back into Baez. There's the cross. It's headed clear, and we're struggling a bit more with this than we did with the Luxembourg side, but it could be a point that if we do score the first goal, the floodlights might open up. Baez plays it across again to Eric Bernau. It's a good tackle, but Franks picks it back up. We've got 3 very good attacking players on the pitch, and Stevens is one of them, and he scores the goal, and we do now lead. Fantastic, I like that. And that noise is really concerning me now. It sounds a bit like there's a helicopter in the distance, you know, when you hear that noise. What is it? It might be my external hard drive. It might be my external hard drive, actually. I might unplug it in between the 2 matches just to try and get rid of that noise. It's really aggravating me. It's just like a vibrating noise then. Anyway, I'm going to stop talking about that now. Let's get back on the game. We're 1-0 up, 20 minutes in. This for a place in the 3rd stage of the qualifier of the Champions League. Hopefully we'll get a nice draw in the 3rd Champions League stage, because I'd love to get in the group stage again. That'd be fantastic. And I think we've really improved our team since last year. And if we do get into the Champions League group stage again, then I will look to invest more money in this team. The problem is that we need to try and have more Gibraltarian national players, and there's not many of those around. Well, there isn't any good ones around at all. So we are bringing in younger players and keeping them in the under-18s for some time. Hopefully they're progressing to a level where they are going to be good enough to play for us in the future, and by that time they would have also gained Gibraltarian nationality as well. So it's a double whammy for us. It's been better this year than it was last year because we've got a few players, and again next year it should be even better because a few of the players that we've got a hold of, maybe players like Morgan and people like that are going to gain that Gibraltarian homegrown status for playing for a club under a certain age for so long. Bernal now on the noise is getting louder. Baez plays it into Stevens, and Stevens gets his 2nd of the game, and he is doing very, very well for us. And we are 2-0 up. That's what we wanted. We wanted to make sure that we were quite secure in this first leg going into the away leg, because it's always going to be a worry, the away leg. Especially when it's a team you're not overly sure on, there's a travelling time. You get a little bit worried, but going there with a 2-0 lead at least, well, hopefully at least, they're on the attack now. It makes us feel a bit more secure. Oh, they've cut us to shreds there. Great save by Ramito. It wasn't the best of shots, really. It was quite weak. And Ramito hits it back forward. So, what else have we got in the locker? Can we sneak in a 3rd goal before half-time? Now, we don't want to go at 2 over the top in this game, because as you've noticed, our conditions are quite low. I should have cancelled it, but there was a friendly game against Panathinaikos a few days before this game, and I kept it because I thought it'd be good to try and get our match fitness up. And it was about 4 or 5 days before this game, and I thought, well, it won't be much of a problem. Everyone will be fresh again by the time it comes around, but evidently that's not the case. So we want to try and retain as much energy as we can. We've got another game against these guys, of course, next week, and there's a few players we can probably switch around. People that are not playing this match. You've got Etundi, Patino, Baird, Broga, some real top quality players that aren't even on the pitch at the moment. So we've got the license to make a few changes should we need to. So we start the second half. I'd like to get another goal or 2 in the second half. That'd be nice. And obviously keep that clean sheet as well. Don't want to concede a goal, because that could really change things around. We're getting a lot of front players booked at the moment, which is a little bit of a worry. We're coming close to the hour mark, so we might make a few substitutions now. So I think Bernal might need to come off because he's struggling fitness-wise. Maybe Baez, maybe Stevens as well, saving him from their yellow cards. You don't want to get sent off and get suspended. That'd be a little bit annoying. So we are getting close to the time. Let's make the substitutions now then. Patino for Cabrera, I think. Might be a good one. What was that? Might have been a bad idea. I should just do Patino for Bernal, because Bernal's fitness is the lowest one. Tundi for Baez, who's been booked and he's got low fitness, and then I'm going to bring on 80 Day in place of Joe Stevens, and then I'm just going to go into advanced tactics and just move Day back, and we'll just have 2 central attacking midfielders behind Franks, just to try and retain the energy he does have, and that should be okay, I think. Like I said, I'd like to get one more goal before the end of the game. Now Bowley's been booked as well. We're not doing very well here. We've had 4 players booked. I don't know why. We've been looking very aggressive. Is that something we've got set up in here? I don't think so. Let's stay on our feet for now. Let's be more expressive, roam from positions and run at defence. I'm just going a bit crazy now. Let's lower the tempo as well, just to retain some of our energy. It's always handy. And we have another highlight now. Cabrera plays it across into Patino. Cheeky ball across to 80 Day. Patino has a lot of guys surrounding ours in that attacking position, but Atundi finds Patino, hits the crossbar. Oh, and Atundi's going to chase it out. Can he keep it in? No, he can't. It goes out for a throw-in. I thought we'd been able to keep a hold of that. Then hitting the crossbar. Right, so the attack continues. Cabrera across to Morgan. Morgan takes a shot again off the crossbar. Wow, come on, guys. Let's get this 3rd goal before the game finishes. We've hit the crossbar twice now. Patino loses it but gets it back. Plays it out wide to Stefan Dama. We've got a lot of Australians in our squad, haven't we? 80 Day into Patino. To Morgan. Into Tundi. Cuts it in nicely to Franks. Franks takes a shot, and what a save that is. Superb, superb save. And he's just stopped his team from going 3-0 down. Tundi now with a corner. See, if we can hold on to this result, then it will mean that we've had 3 games in the Champions League so far this season, and Ramito would not have conceded a single goal. So that'd be quite impressive for him. And again, I've mentioned it in previous episodes about our clinical, or lack of being clinical, shall I say. We've had 26 shots, 27 shots and 3 goals now. We had 26 shots and 2 goals. The goal to shot ratio wasn't very good. It still isn't fantastic with the 3rd goal, but I'm happier now. We've got a bit more of a secure sort of gap going into the 2nd leg. I remember a few years ago when we got TNS in the 1st round of the Champions League, and that was a massive problem because we won 4-0 at home, and when we went away we were 3-0 down at half time, and it was a real panic, and we did manage to hold on just about. So it's I want to make sure that we do the same thing here. I want to make sure we don't do the same thing here. I want to make sure that we get our big lead and we don't have any risk of going to Albania and end up dropping that. And it looks like that is going to be all. This should just be the last 10 seconds. The last highlight. There's the goal kick. I think we'll probably change our formation a bit for the 2nd leg as well. Maybe go a bit more, because we seem to do a lot better when we have width. I've noticed that, and with players like Atundi, Finbed, 80 Day as well. And look at that, Atundi came off the bench and got the man of the match. That's quite impressive, actually. Just about, considering Joe Stevens scored twice, yet Atundi gets man of the match. That's pretty crazy, isn't it, really? So there we go. We got a 3-0 lead in the 1st round, which I'm the 1st leg, which I'm very happy about. And hopefully we can either hold on to that or build upon it in the 2nd leg. So let's go straight to that second leg. So here we are. We are in the third qualifying stage, and we're seeded in the seeded groups, if that makes sense. We're seeded 1, which means we should be able to get ourselves an easier draw. I think we should be able to beat all the teams in seeded, Group 1 unseeded. I think that means we miss out those. I think we go for a Group 2. Well, let's see how it works. I want to try and get the easiest round possible, of course. So let's run it. Oh, we got straight away. Well, that's... Ooh, Partizan. That could end up being tricky, you know. That could be tricky. Probably would have liked to avoid Partizan. Very, very good side. Yeah. A little bit worried. I'm not gonna lie, a little bit worried about that one. I think it's a team that we could still take on and do pretty well against, but I'm a little bit worried about it. Bearing in mind, we are a team that defeated Barcelona at home and drew with Barcelona away last year. A team that drew with Marseille as well. So we're a pretty good side. Let's have a quick look at Partizan. And they have no players, which might help us out. They've got one player in the reserves, who's Bojan Minik, who's got a bid at the moment from West Brom. Should we have a go? Should we just be cheeky and see if we can sign him? I'll put in a bid for what he's worth and then we'll see if I get him or not. I don't know how good he is. He had pretty decent stats in all the right places. So you never know. So yeah, you know what, we might be alright with that. We might be alright with that one. They don't seem to have any players there. They're probably ranked higher than us reputation-wise, but we might be okay. But then again, we still need to get through Partizani first, so let's get straight into that. And here we are in the second leg. We've brought a 3-0 victory in with us. Of course, we win this and we do go up against, I'm not going to say for definite, but it's Partizan or Milsami? Yeah, I don't know. I sort of want Partizan, just make it easier to speak. But yeah, I think either way, we've got a pretty good chance of being able to beat them, whoever we get. We're pretty favourite. I forgot how to talk now. We're pretty heavy favourites once again. Christian Bayers being our key man. As you see, we've changed the formation quite a chunk. They've got a bit more attacking for this one as well, which they have to do because they're 3-0 down. Now, we have gone for a completely different goalkeeper, making his debut, Matteo Legern. A player we brought when... Well, this is his 4th season with us now. So how long has he been with us, you know? I'm sorry I keep doing this. I know it probably gets very boring to watch. He's only done 335 days in the country. That doesn't make sense. See, I get very confused with this sort of stuff. So he's got another 228 days before he gains nationality. But then he's got another 1,490 days before he's eligible to play for the nation. Maybe you have to be over a certain age to gain this. I don't know. I don't honestly know how it works, but there you go. But he's making his debut here today. Nick Carlton in centre-back because we still want to hold on to him for another year. So he'll start playing for Gibraltar. Stefan Dammer in the centre alongside him. And Roger Newby alongside him. This could be Roger Newby's last game. We've had a couple more offers for him since the last match. We've also had an offer for Zhang Songjae, which I'm very annoyed about because I did not realise. But obviously we've got values now, which is fantastic. However, Zhang Songjae has still got a minimum release fee in his contract of £16,000. So we'll be losing him pretty soon, which I'm very annoyed about. Angela Kovic is in central midfield, who doesn't look that fantastic, but his value is a lot higher than some of the other players. Alongside him we have Anders Broger. I like Anders Broger. We've had him since he was 16 years of age. Up the left we're going with Finn Baird. Up the right we've got AD Day, who's been an absolute beast since we brought him in. And then the two striking positions are going to be Joe Stevens and Christian Bayers. Now, match fitness, we're pretty much getting higher and higher and higher, which is fantastic. And match sharpness and everything. We're looking pretty good now. We should be 100% ready to go at Partizan should we get them in the next round. There's a couple of players that might need a little bit of fitness. We're resting Cabrera. I want to try and bring on Murphy at some point because he's really low on fitness. We've got Avola on the bench as well. Of course, no wing-backs in this formation. But let's go for it. Le Guern's going to be playing his debut. We've had him since he was 16 as well, so be interesting to see what he can do. Thought I'd give him the chance, because at the moment he's our number 2 goalkeeper. He is our number 2 goalkeeper in the Champions League because he has got homegrown status, because he's been here now since he was 16. He's been here for 3 seasons, which means that he has gained that homegrown status, whereas our other goalkeeper, of course, we've only just brought him in, and he's African, so he's not Gibraltarian at all. Don't bugger it up. Oh, don't bugger it up on your dial. I tell you what, you completely bugger that up, but you put on a good save. And that good save might just be enough to keep you in this one. I was a little bit annoyed there for a second. So now we have a corner. Finbair takes it. I would like to get a cheeky goal early on just to get that away goal and really put it out their hands. They'd have to score 5 then. Angela Kovic over the top to Baird, plays it in. Stevens goes all the way through to Day, does bounce back to Stevens, now to Day. Oh god, it's very scrappy and we can't put it in the back of the net. Brogan now on there. Come on, Brogan, can he turn and get in the box? He doesn't, it comes out, but it's going to be cut out there. No, it's not. They come forward. Of course, we've only got 3 at the back in this formation, so it's a little bit more open for them, but I wanted to try and utilise some of our more attacking players in this game. Really, I know we've got a little bit of leeway in this one. We're a bit stronger than they are, so that's why I've utilised this 3 at the back formation. I've not done it specifically to be 3 at the back. I've done it because I really wanted... Whoa. I've done it because I really wanted to be able to utilise some more of the attacking players to get the match fitness. And there's a goal by Joe Stevens. I do apologise for that. I seem to have got loads of noise pop up on my other laptop there for a second. A video just started playing by itself. Just caught it though. It's a good goal that. Angela Kovic. Simple little pass in and Stevens was there. And this young player we brought in from Leicester in the summer for about £500,000. Looks like he's going to be a very good signing for us. He's knocking the goals in anyway. I don't know what that change was, but we made it. So there's the away goal. Now they need 5 goals to turn this one around, and there's one of them. In fairness to Le Guin, I don't think he had much chance of saving that one. Is this like a really attacking formation? I can't remember now if we went over the attacking with this one. Wow, yeah, we weren't going to save that, was he? In fairness to him. It is his debut. He's not quite as good as the other goalkeepers we've got. I think he needs to play football, though, to try and get himself better. But the only reason, like I said, the only reason he's in the Champions League squad is because he's got that homegrown status. And he'll probably be with us now for some time just because of that homegrown status. I'll have to give him a few games in the domestic league just to keep him happy. But the other guys we've got don't have that homegrown status. Oh, they've scored a second. You know what? We could be in a bit more trouble in their first 4. This is not good, is it? Is this just a little bit of luck, or if they get 3 more goals, then we're in a bad position. A little bit of adversity here. That makes a change for us, doesn't it? It's not had a bit of adversity for quite some time. Right, now we have a throw, and if we can score another goal here, it'll make me a bit more comfortable. 80 Day into Stevens, saved by the keeper. Hyleton gets it, heads it forward, but not far enough, and all of a sudden they're on the counter-attack again. And they're in again, are they? No, defence has got back. Come on, tackle him. Ah, oh, Roger Newby, that wasn't a very good tackle. You're going to get booked for that, aren't you? Looks like you're going to get booked for that one. Referee calls him over, very slow walk up to him. I know he gets a warning, that's not too bad, I'd be happy with that. And we continue to hold on to our 2-1 lead. I'm a little bit worried. Although we've had more shots, more on target, it might have just been a case they've got lucky with their shots. Or they've been a bit more clinical than we have. So we seem to be having more of the game. We always seem to get less possession. I don't know why. I don't know if it's because we try to kill a ball a bit more often or not. I'm not quite sure, but we're getting more of the attacks and more of the shots. So I'm pretty happy at the moment. It might just be a lucky little spate of play for them. I can't see him getting another 3 anyway. Hopefully, anyway. You just squeeze through till half time. Might in the second half change the formation and go more defensive. Bring on maybe Jared Murphy and Lee Song-jae, or Zhang Song-jae, should I say? And then make it a bit more defensive, just to hold on to the result until the full-time whistle. We'll get through to the about 60-minute mark and then we'll make those changes, I think. Then we'll go maybe counter-attacking football for the last half an hour. I don't know why I've just said I'm happy for, but it seemed to work. So I've just got like that muscle memory of just click, 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 click. And I don't often read what I'm doing. I've just clicked and I'm happy with the result. And evidently we're not happy with the result because we're losing 2-1. But it seemed to make players happy. So we'll go with it. It might just work in our favour as Baird takes the throw in. It's to Halton, who plays it back to Finn Baird. See, Halton's not the best of players now, is he? But he's only got a year left till he gets the eligibility to play for Gibraltar. So next year's Champions League qualifiers that he should be able to play for the national side. Then we can sell him. I'm not bothered where he goes to then. Oh, great save from Bayers' shot. I'll tell you what, their goalkeeper's very good, isn't he? And if we don't play... If we play like this against Partizan Belgrade, I think we could be in trouble. But then again, we will be playing our full strongest side against Partizan Belgrade. Let's make those changes. Got another attack here. Baird into Patino. Anders Broga into Day. Day takes a shot. Another good save by their goalkeeper. He must be one of the prime names for man of the match at the moment, their keeper. Ours has looked a little bit shaky in places, but he is making his debut. We'll let him off a little bit, I suppose. Dama into... Oh, no. Bayers picks it up. Maybe I should go out there and buy loads of like 15, 16-year-old Europeans that are going to have decent potentials. They're not going to be world beaters, but decent enough potentials to become homegrown players and to basically gain nationality for the national side. So maybe I might have a look at doing that before the transfer window ends. Just start to have a look and see what youngsters there are available that we can bring in with decent potentials. They don't have to be world beaters, but just good enough to bolster up the national side a bit. So Newbie plays it to Dama. Right, so we are now at that hour mark. We'll wait to the end of this highlight, then we'll make those few substitutions just to try and shore the game up a little bit and play a few different players. Day into Broga, sees the runner Bayers. Can he make it? No. Wow, their keeper's incredible. Is the corner going to be part of a highlight as well? It looks like it is going to be. See, that Motorsport Management, I like the look of that. It's a game that it's a phone game at the moment, but apparently Sports Interactive have just brought it out and they're going to release it as a game on Steam. So I'm keeping an eye out for that because it looks really good. And I played the phone game. I love the phone game. Right, so what are we going to change here? What are we going to do? I'm thinking... what am I thinking? I don't know what I'm thinking here, you know? Maybe drop in Broga back alongside Patino. And maybe drop in Angela... No. Maybe leave Angela Kovic where he is and just bring in off maybe Joe Stevens, who's looked quite good. Bring... Maybe just do that. Just bring on Jared Murphy. I know, I don't... What's happened here? Something's gone wrong here, isn't it? Yeah, Nick Halton should be in the middle. Steven switch with Dama. And then we'll bring on... Yeah. Jared Murphy, that's good. And then let's bring on also... Let's bring on a Tundi for Day as well, just to change things up a little bit. And then hopefully that should sort of... I thought I fixed this problem with the sound in the first... I'm hoping you've got no issues with this sound, because it's making my life very annoying. And there's the headed goal. There's Angela Kovic. Great headed goal. Second goal of the season, and that makes it 2-2 here on the night. 5-2 on aggregate, and I think that more or less confirms it now, because they need to score 4 more goals. I was a little bit worried, I must admit. Great corner in by Tundi. And I thought it was a header. It's not. He hit it on the volley, actually. So now, can we win the game outright as well? That'd be nice. We do have another highlight. I feel a little bit more secure now with the 4 at the back and the 2 defensive midfielders, I must admit. And we're still quite attacking at the same time. This is more of the formation we'll probably play against Partizan. The formation we played in most of our Champions League games last year as well. We played very counter-attacking football in our Champions League games. But I think against Partizan we can still look to try and dominate the game in places because I think we might have stronger players. Oh, they've headed it in. It's 3-2 now to them. You know what? They're pushing us in this game. I don't think they're that good, but they're pushing us in this game. I don't think there's any worry of us being knocked out. But at the same time, we don't want our morale to drop due to a dodgy loss here. But there it is, 3-2 to Partizani on the night. But we are winning 5-3 on aggregate. And of course, in the first half, when they scored their goal, they followed it up with a second goal very, very quickly. And it looks like they're on the attack here again. It's a big kick by Le Guin. It's gone straight to Baez. I was a little bit worried when he went out to the keeper then, based on what happened in the first half, where he screwed it up and almost conceded a goal. I thought he might have done it again, but he did clear it well to Baez, who eventually loses it. He was making a bit of a run there, but just couldn't decide where to send it off to. Come on, get the ball back. Get the ball back. Come on, that's yours. It is Patino. Atundi now on the ball. Sends it forward to Baird, who takes it on his stride and really making movements into the opposition's half. Angelikovic sees the run of Baez. He's in the box and he's in the back of the net. 3-3. And again, we come back from behind to equal up the game. Now, can we score that fourth? I'd love to win the game outright. Just to send a message to everyone else involved. And I just cannot believe that every single club we go to seems to have a much bigger stadium than what we do. It's annoying me now. I would love to build our own stadium. I think it doesn't give us the option to build our own stadium anymore. I think that's because we are currently improving the size of the stadium we have at the moment. So I think as soon as that's done, we can start to request a bigger stadium again, or request our own stadium, of course. But the fact that we've improved the size of the stadium that's shared between everyone is a good thing as well, because that's going to help out the other clubs. It means that other clubs can hopefully generate some more money as well, which would be good for them. Baez with a shot. It's off the crossbar. Wow, he hit the crossbar so many times in the first leg, and seems we're doing the same thing here again now. So Patino's not had a very good game, has he? What changes do we want to make? Should I just bring on Franks in place of Baez, just to protect Baez from any potential injury in the last 6 minutes? That I can't imagine there's going to be injuries in the last 6 minutes, but you never know. If I don't take him off, it'll happen now. Big ball forward. It's Atundi to Franks, and could we steal that fourth goal in the last minute to win this match outright? No, we can't. Angelikovic gets taken out. But at least it looks like we're going to go through. Unless they can score 4 goals in the last 30 seconds, we should be fine in this one. Le Guin has had a little bit of a shifty debut. He's conceded 3 goals. Don't necessarily know if they were his fault or just good play. I think the first one was definitely a bit iffy for him. Oh, God, Franks. Angelikovic takes a shot and again. Oh, great save. Their keeper, although he's conceded 3 goals, their keeper must be one of the candidates for man of the match. And there is the full-time whistle. 3-3 draw away from home at Partizani. And we are 6-3 up on aggregate. So we will go through to playoff. And we'll have a look who that's going to be against first. We got Angelikovic got man of the match with a 9.0. Wow. Well, I'm going to assume it's Partizan based on that one result. But let's have a quick look just in case the other team won 6-0 at home. And I can show you our new signing as well. And where are we then? Won that. Makes his professional debut. Jubilant. There we go. Partizan Belgrade in the 3rd qualifying stage of the Champions League. Now let me just check before we go as well. I will show you our new signing as well. 3rd qualifying stage rules. Right, so loser gets £285,000, which is not that great. And is that it? Looks like that is it. So you want to go playoff. Playoff winners qualify for the group stages, and you get a lot more money. I thought the 3rd qualifying stage was the one where you got kicked into the Europa League. There we go. Losers qualify for the Europa League. First round. So if we lose this next match, we go into the Europa League. If we win, we go into the playoffs, and then hopefully we can make that into the Champions League group stage again. Right, so as you just saw, we have made a new signing. And this signing is very much based on the fact that we are going to be losing Roger Newby, our goalkeeper. As you can see, he's a very good player. I'm surprised we got him. I really am. We've had to pay money for him. He's £210,000, but I think he's definitely going to be worth it. A young Belgian defender. The scouts loved him. As you can see, the coaches love him as well, and I think he could be a very, very good player for us. His happiness is very poor at the moment for some reason, but we'll get on that straight away. He has actually played 6 games for Anderlecht, so that just shows what sort of level he's at. He's actually playing in the Belgian Pro League, so that shows what sort of level he's at. And I think he's going to do pretty well for us. He's going to be one of our first choices, I think. And it's nice to see a brand new player come in. And when we're at the when we're on the verge of losing a couple of big players, it's nice to bring a big player like this in, just to show our intent. I mean, he's locked in now for a 3-year Is it a 3-year contract? No, I think he's in more than 3 years. I think it might be a 4-year contract. He's locked in for a 4-year contract. He's worth more than what we paid for him as well, which is fantastic. Which means if somebody else does want to come in and get him, at least we're going to make some profit on him as well. So, next episode we are going to come back and we are, of course, going to play Partizan Belgrade. And we are favourites for the home and away leg. So, we are actually favourites. So, we might actually end up being okay in this one. I was a little bit worried when we drew it. But it looks like we could just do okay in this one. And hopefully get through to the playoffs. At least if we get through to the playoffs, we know we're guaranteed at least £2.5 million if we lose. Or if we win, we're going to get like £9 or £10 million just for getting to the Champions League group stage. So either way, it's a win-win situation. If we lose, we go through to the. If we lose in the game against Partizan, of course, we'll go through to the Europa League at least anyway. So again, there's a lot of money involved in that. So I think no matter what happens now, we're going to end up making some money this year. As long as we get through that second qualifying stage now, I think we're looking pretty good. So, if you have enjoyed this video, then please do hit that like button. It does really help me out. And of course, if you are new around here, be sure to hit that subscribe button as well for a lot more of the Gibraltar Challenge here on Football Manager 2016. I've been Shabby Gamer. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.